What's going down, gang? It's your boy, That Guy Mile High, tuning back in for another one of them reactions. You dig what I'm saying? This time we got the top 10 terrifying cartoon urban legends that will give you nightmares. You dig what I'm saying? So strap your boots on. You know what I'm saying? Go ahead and do what you got to do. Spark up, roll up, date. I said that all wrong. Spark up, dab up, vape up, dip up, moonshine it up, sweet tea up, do what you got to do. Just go up. Maybe take a shot or two or three because it comes from me. If you can't do none of that, open up your mind because ultimately that's the only way to go up anyway. You know what I'm saying? Pimping, you dig what I'm saying? Open up your mind. Anyways, let's go. Full screen. Let's get it.
From rumors to legends to potentially lost episodes, here are the top 10 terrifying cartoon urban legends that will give you nightmares. Before we get into this video, though, I just want to take a quick second to shout out our sister channel, Where Are They Now? This channel covers a ton of celebrities' lives and where they are now after a major downfall or after being out of the spotlight for a long time. They've also been covering a ton of true crime cases and reality TV show stars, so make sure you head over there, check it out, hit that subscribe button, and show them some love. You definitely will not regret it. All right, let's get into this list. Starting off in our number 10 spot, we have...
If y'all want to see some of that, some of the content she was just talking about, let's react to some of that stuff. I think that would be some really cool stuff to check out. We're going to just let me know down in the comments below right now. You dig what I'm saying? Gang, gang, gang. Oh, and while you at it, go ahead and just tickle that little gooch area of the subscribe button and then boom, poke it, press it, you know what I'm saying? And then hit that bell notification next to it. You dig what I'm saying? Because it's free. Let's go.
Ed and Eddie. Ed and Eddie ran for 5 seasons, and it's been rumored that among all these episodes that were aired, there was one that went missing and was only shown once on TV before it never aired again. The rumor started in 2001, and it was alleged that this missing episode was called The Scarecrow Boy. For a short summary of the episode, Sarah puts on a play, her own version of The Wizard of Oz, casting herself as Dorothy, Jimmy as the Tin Man, Eddie as the Cowardly Lion, Ed as the Scarecrow, and Double D as the director. After rehearsing, Sarah becomes so mad at Ed for messing up his lines that she decides to lock him out of the house. Since he was in his costume when this happened, the other kids in the neighborhood began making fun of him, calling him Scarecrow Boy. Even crazier, every time he is called Scarecrow Boy, he becomes stiffer, eventually turning into one. There's pretty much no evidence that this episode ever existed, other than fans claiming that they once watched it on TV. In our number 9 spot today, we have Inspector Gadget. In the show Inspector Gadget, we never see the evil Dr. Claw's face on screen. However, there's been a long-standing urban legend that we did see him at one point. In this one mysterious episode, we got a glimpse of his face, and that was later used as the inspiration for the action figure of Dr. Claw, which now shows his face. The creators knew this was a huge deal at the time, and when you went to buy the action figure in stores, they covered up his face in the packaging, so you had to buy it back in the day to see what Mr. Claw looked like. These days, you can just Google it, and it'll be the first thing that pops up. His face is also briefly visible in the Inspector Gadget game for the Super Nintendo, but since the quality of the game was pretty bad, we never got a good look until the action figure. In our number 8 spot today, we have Dungeons and Dragons. In the 1980s Dungeons and Dragons cartoon show, there is a famous urban legend that the last episode of the show shared a crazy secret about the entire show that changes everything. The episode itself also reportedly never made it to TV, but some people claimed that it was accidentally aired once. This episode revealed that all of the characters were actually killed in a roller coaster accident, and they ended up in the afterlife. The writer who made the real final episode has denied these claims numerous times, and he even uploaded his script to prove it. In the ending, the kids deliberated after being offered a choice whether to go back to Earth or continue fighting in the D&D world. In our number 7 spot today, we have Gravity Falls. The story with the show Gravity Falls was that allegedly it was supposed to be 3 seasons, but was cut down to only 2 seasons after Alex Hirsch decided he wanted to wrap up the show. Apparently, many fans think that there were a lot of unanswered questions that would have been answered in this rumored 3rd season. The source of this idea comes from a Reddit AMA done after the season 1 finale, where a fan asked how many seasons he'd ideally like the show to last, with Hirsch's response being that he originally considered 3 seasons, but now believed that was too much. Hirsch would say many times over the years that the show was never planned to have 3 seasons, and blames the rumor on the fact that he was not allowed to announce that season 2 was the last season when he first learned so. In our number 6 spot today, we have Phineas and Ferb. Phineas and Ferb is one of those cartoons where there are so many strange theories, it's hard to know where to start. But the most insane one that I have ever heard of claims that Dr. Doofenshmirtz, the evil madman, is actually the father of Phineas. The main evidence is that Phineas and Doofenshmirtz both have the same shaped heads. Let's break this down. We know that Linda, Phineas's mom, and Doof actually dated way back, so not hard to assume that they could have birthed a child. The story is that the couple dated when they were both really young and eventually split up. Both of them go on to get married to other people and have kids with them. That explains Candace's father. After a few years, Linda either splits from Candace's dad and has a fling with Doof, or she cheats with Doof. Either way, it results in the birth of Phineas. Then, years later, she meets Ferb's dad, they get married, and then they turn into one big family. In our number 5 spot today, we have...
Dang, I never really looked at that cartoon super deep enough to, like, realize that there was, like, multiple baby daddies and all sorts of shit going on in that show. That's just deep, bro.
Very Shortcake. Okay, so basically this isn't necessarily inherently terrifying, but it's kind of crazy to see the power of rumors and how even while the truth is out there, some people will still believe falsities. Basically, this story has to do with Strawberry Shortcake and how there was some troll out there who claimed to be the niece of someone working for the entertainment company that makes the show. Basically, this person went on to spread a ton of rumors, mostly relating to season 4, that includes a ton of false synopsis, and they even manipulated some audio and released it as proof. In the end, this of course was bound to cause trouble, so people began trying to clear the air, and of course once the season was actually released, it was clear that this troll had just released a bunch of lies. In the end, however, despite all of the proof that these were false claims, there are many people out there who still choose to reject the truth and take these lies as reality. In our number 4 spot today, we have Mickey Mouse. So basically this is a legend that starts out 100% true. Basically it starts out saying that on September 1st, 1939, the BBC broadcast of the Mickey Mouse cartoon Mickey's Gala premiere.
BBC broadcast? I'm sorry, that shit is funny. The BBC broadcast? All right.
Was abruptly interrupted and ceased due to the sudden outbreak of World War II. That's terrible, and it's absolutely terrifying. The legend goes on to claim that after the war ended and when broadcasts resumed, that the episode was picked up in the exact same moment as when it had previously been interrupted all those years ago. That certainly would have been slightly symbolic, but also exceptionally eerie, but it turns out that that is not true. While it is true that the cartoon was indeed the last program shown by the BBC before suspension, it aired in its entirety before the interruption in 1939, as well as after the interruption in 1946. It is believed that this legend came from a 1984 documentary which showed exactly what the legend described, but this was likely placed in the documentary for dramatic effect. In our number 3 spot today, we have Gravity Falls 2. For another Gravity Falls urban legend, we have this one that circulated the internet. Basically, it comes in the form of a screenshot that shows Dipper and Mabel with a Slender Man standing there watching them from behind. Definitely creepy, but turns out that this is in fact not real. The actual episode shows no Slender Man, and creator Alex Hirsch actually commented on this legend in an interview. He noted that one of the very first times he overheard someone talking about the show after its premiere was when he heard someone telling another person that the legend was true. Despite this rumor not being true at all, there is actually a Slender Man appearance in Gravity Falls media, and it's a one-panel cameo in the story titled Face It, which is in the graphic novel Gravity Falls Lost Legends. In our number 2 spot today, we have Hey Arnold. Hey Arnold is an absolutely classic cartoon, but this legend surrounding the episode titled Pigeon Man is quite dark. Basically, in this episode, there's a character who is called the Pigeon Man, and the legend suggests that in the original ending of this episode, he takes his own life after finding his home destroyed. The legend continues on to say that Nickelodeon forced the writers to change the ending because they were worried it was too dark, and if this were true, I would certainly be inclined to agree. In the end, however, this legend was in fact debunked by the show creator himself, Craig Bartlett. That was never the intended ending, and I think that's probably a good thing. In the actual ending of the show, the Pigeon Man flies away with the pigeons, and because of this dark rumor, people speculate that this was actually his death, but that is also likely untrue because of his subsequent appearances later on. In our number 1 spot today, we have King of the Hill. King of the Hill had one episode that was subject to the internet's weirdest and darkest rumors. The episode in question is called Pygmalion. The episode as a whole is wild, and it's really dark and creepy, which is exactly why it isn't really a surprise that there's a dark legend surrounding it. Basically, in this episode, there's a character called Trip Larson who suffers from quite a few serious things, and he also inherited the Larson's pork products plant from his father. Long story short, he does some some messed up stuff and ends up meeting a gruesome fate in the end. I'll spare you the gory details. So basically, according to urban legend, it says that after Trip's death, while Peggy and Luann are talking and celebrating, you can see an incredibly graphic and dark image of Trip's body behind them. There is simply no evidence that this ever happened, and it's likely just a really dark story that had its origins somewhere on the internet, but you really just wonder exactly where this sort of thing came from.
Conversation.
All right, guys, that has been our list for today. Thanks so much for checking it out.
Wanting to have a conversation about something. It's like, yeah, like, did you see that on Phineas and Ferb, bro? It's crazy. It's crazy. Like these are cartoons, man. Like, anyways, man, y'all let me know what y'all thought about that in the comments below. Definitely not terrifying. Definitely ain't gonna have nightmares. But it was definitely a cool little learning experience to see some of the weird little urban legends and little conspiracy theories based around, you know, the whole situation with, you know, some of these cartoons that we kind of probably all grew up watching. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, let me know what y'all thought about that in the comments below, and I'll catch y'all later. Peace!